FC, Pride of a Nation. I'm going to be your host, Anthony Stein. Once again, it's great to be hosting in front of so many friends, and it looks like a big gathering of guys that, you know, you basically see every day. Right now, just to let everybody know, ONE FC is actually the largest mixed martial arts organization in Asia. And it's a world-class organization, and they have world-class fighters, not just the best in Asia, but also fighters that are really, really good and respected all around the world. ONE Fighting Championship is selling out events all over Asia. In fact, I was lucky enough a few months ago to see one of their events personally. I was there in Jakarta, Indonesia. The place was packed to the rafters, and obviously that's what they're expecting to happen here once again. ONE FC is coming to Metro Manila. It's going to be at the Smart Araneta Coliseum. That's going to be at the end of August, so August 31st. And as early as now, we would like to ask our media friends, when you write about this, when you tell everybody about it, please make sure you tell the fans to try to get their tickets as early as possible. Tickets will be on sale beginning tomorrow. And please urge the people to get their tickets early, because what happened when I was in Jakarta, there were so many fans outside, unfortunately, were not able to get inside to watch because the tickets were sold out. So once again, ONE FC is expecting to have a packed crowd at Araneta. And so again, please urge the people to get their tickets as early as possible. It goes on sale starting tomorrow. But before anything else, you know, it's hard for me to actually just try to describe what ONE FC is all about. So what we're going to do is we'll show you a video just so you'll have a better idea of what ONE FC really is.
Representing the Philippines.
Right now, we're going to call up here on the presidential table the people behind ONE FC, starting out with CEO of ONE FC. We've got Mr. Victor Cui. Hello, Victor. We've got the owner of Universal Reality Combat Championship, more popularly known as URCC, Alvin Aguilar. Morning, Alvin. And we now bring in the fighters, of course, Asian MMA great Shinya Aoki. Very popular fighter, of course. We have Dream World Champion and one of the top pound-for-pound fighters in the entire world, Bibiano Fernandez. We now have CFC Australia Bantamweight Champion Gustavo Faciroli. Hello, Gustavo. We now have former UFC Heavyweight Champion Andrei the Pitbull Orlovsky. And last but certainly not the least, the pride of the Philippines, Edward Folayang. And so right now, to start us off, we're very excited to have the CEO of ONE Fighting Championship himself for his opening speech, Victor Cui.
Thanks, Anthony. Appreciate that. I always hate talking after Anthony because he's so good looking and articulate. It makes everybody else look bad. But that's just a little bromance. Come on. Thank you, everybody. Good morning, and I really appreciate you making the time to come out here. I know how crazy it is to navigate through Manila traffic. I know how crazy it is to set aside some of your schedule to come here. So really, on behalf of everybody sitting here and on ONE FC, thank you very much for taking the time to come out here today. I want to start off by thanking a few key people that have made this possible. First of all, thank you to our gracious hosts and official hotel, Discovery Suites. They've put on They've been very hospitable, typical Filipino style, and taking care of everybody. And I really appreciate that. I also am very excited to spend a little bit of time today talking about how ONE FC is in partnership with URCC right here in the Philippines, and thanking my very good friend, Mr. Alvin Aguilar, for making this a possibility. In my 15 years of sports media industry, I've had the privilege of working on everything from Olympics to Commonwealth Games to PGA Tour, and I spent the last 6.5 years with ESPN. And I have never, ever seen a sport that is about to explode and is as exciting as MMA is right now. We are in an incredible time in the history of this sport. MMA, as you all know, is the world's fastest growing sport. And it is at its infancy and exploding right here in Asia. You know, and leading that way in Asia is ONE FC. Why are we doing that? We are pushing the explosive growth across the region because we're showcasing the best fighters from around the world and the best fighters and champions in Asia from all of our partners. But we also have an unprecedented 10-year television deal with the world's largest, the #1 sports TV broadcaster, ESPN and Star Sports. That's a 10-year television deal that puts ONE FC in front of over 500 million viewers and 28 countries all year. You are talking about taking this sport to a whole other level. 500 million viewers. But coming here to Manila is a major milestone, both personally and professionally for me. Personally, because my parents are from Cebu, and I was born in Canada, but I am fiercely and proudly Filipino. I'm very, very excited about coming home, and I'm very, very proud to be bringing ONE FC, the largest event, right here to Manila. And I know we will not disappoint you. I promise you that. You know, I'll tell you a little bit of an anecdote. We have been selling out, as Anthony said, selling out events right across Asia. And everywhere we go, the loudest and the craziest fans, I'll give you one guess who they are. It's the Filipinos. Yeah! And, yeah! You know, we also have the noisiest press conferences. You know, that is exciting. It fills me with a lot of pride to see that. And people and Filipino fans, they come up to me and they tell me how they come to a ONE FC event and it's like Las Vegas on their doorstep. How they walk in and their hair is standing on end because it's a rock concert. They are seeing celebrities walking on the red carpet. They're seeing paparazzi. They're the sports superstars, the models, and all these beautiful people that are out for a Las Vegas fight night. And that is the excitement that comes around MMA, and comes around the sport, and comes around ONE FC, and why it's going through this explosive growth right now. Coming here, I'm going to promise you this. We are holding nothing back. We are bringing the biggest, the baddest, the best, the most stacked card ONE FC has ever had for Filipino fans right here on August 31st. And it is very exciting. All of that and everything that we're doing and the development of this sport has been made possible also with the great partnerships that we have across the region. And before I talk about our fighters and everything else here, I want to take a moment to really thank and introduce Mr. Alvin Aguilar from URCC and his team. I'll tell you, this man was doing things 10 years ago in MMA that only other people were dreaming about. It is by no coincidence that the biggest fighters and the best fighters, you know, some of the top fighters in Asia are coming out of the Philippines and have come out through URCC. They are producing champions, they're producing brilliant leaders, good leaders for the community, and have set the standard that all of us respect. And I have a lot of respect for Alvin, and being here in Manila in partnership with URCC is a great way to kick off. And I'd like to pass the mic to Mr. Aguilar to say a few words.
Good morning, everybody. Again, it's an honor to be here. This is going to be the first time in history where we have the biggest MMA promotion in Asia going against one of the region's oldest, longest running shows. the URCC. If you see around the region, other promoters, go at each other's throats and everything like that. But Victor and I have a vision to make Asian MMA as big as possible, even bigger than the MMA promotions you see in North America or in America. So with this partnership, it'll just be the start of many great things to come. And then, like I promised before in the URCC, our goal is to always showcase the best Filipino talent to the world. And this is one of the biggest steps we have taken to make sure that becomes a reality. So thank you very much, guys.
For all of you that are MMA fans, then this person sitting on my right, you already recognize him, and he does not need an introduction. He is considered one of the greatest grapplers in MMA. He has compiled over 30 wins in his career in exciting fashion, and is undoubtedly one of Asia's biggest superstars. And to top it all off, he's a Dream Lightweight champion. I'd like to introduce Mr. Shinya Oki, and he, as you probably, we're still working on confirming his opponent, but we're very excited to have him a part of the ONE FC family. And he only speaks Japanese, so he will be speaking through his translator and just share a few words about how excited he is to be a part of ONE FC and the Manila card.
初めてフィリピンに来れてすごく嬉しいです。
It's his first time in the Philippines, and he's very happy to be here.
フィリピンでの戦い、ファイトをすごく楽しみにしています。
He's very excited for fighting in front of Filipino fans, and he's going to put on a great show for you guys.
皆さん楽しみにしていてください。ありがとうございました。
Please, everybody, come watch him fight on August 31st.
Thanks, Shinya. Before I introduce the next two fighters, let's take a quick look at the video. So divert your eyes to the screens.
CFC champion, Gustavo Falcioni.
Every fight I take, that's the main fight of my life. This is my next fight, that's the main fight of my life, and I have to train hard for that. My strategy is just fight with all my heart, all the desire to be the champion. That's all. What motivates me is the desire to be the best, to be successful in my career, to be a good MMA fighter.
I fight for my life, I fight for my family, I fight for my friends. I fight for a reason. That's what I fight for. I fight to the hit, I take it serious. Doesn't matter who the guy will give me, doesn't matter who you are. I will go to Gustavo is the #1 in the world. But I never think it's going to be, never, always think tough.
For this fight, I'm very confident to be the winner. Winning this fight is another step to my goal of being the ONE FC champion. I want to be the best MMA fighter in the world.
What is MMA for me? My body, spirit, everything connection with one. I fight, that's it. That's how I want to go. Only fight. Win, I don't think about that. I go there, play my best. That's what I do.
I'm prepared to do anything. Go all the rounds, get a submission, get a KO, whatever. I'm ready to do anything.
And that we have a dream, and my dream is fighting Manila. I'm born at it. That's Bibiano. That's me.
Before I let these two guys talk on the mic, I'll just introduce them a little bit. Bibiano is, this man is a superstar in the bantamweight division. I tell you, he probably holds more BJJ championship titles than any other MMA fighter in the world. If you were to add up the weight of all of his belts and you were to carry it all one time, it probably weighs more than the man himself. All right? But not only has he earned accolades, but he has gone through in his personal life some incredible challenges and overcome some incredible obstacles to become a champion. And that's really where the heart of the warrior comes in. And baby, tell me if I'm wrong, but there's a story about you, how he's an absolute natural talent. How did he learn BJJ and get so good? For months, he was just sitting outside of a school that was teaching BJJ and watching, observing, watching, day after day, watching. And finally, the owner said, "Dude, come on in. What are you just watching? Why don't you come in here?" So he walked in there and immediately started tapping out every one of those guys in there that had been training. And the owner says to him, "Where are you coming from? Where have you been training?" He's like, "I haven't. I've just been sitting out here observing and watching." That's the kind of natural talent this man brings to the table. That's the kind of gifts he has from God. That's the kind of heart that this man brings. And he is a champion. Now, he is going to need all of that skill, all of that heart, all of that talent for his opponent, Gustavo Falciaroli. Gustavo made his debut on ONE FC in February in an impressive fashion, defeating up-and-coming Korean fighter Soo Chul Kim with a rear naked choke in the first round. Gustavo is probably one of the most recognized figures and one of the most accomplished grapplers in Australia. So this is a battle to be seen. I kid you not that this bantamweight fight is probably one of the fights of the year for MMA in Asia. You're seeing two guys, one guy who earned his victories primarily through knockout and submission, another man who has never been knocked out or submitted in his career, and they not only have heart, but they have the talent to back it up. And this is going to be an explosive fight, and I guarantee you guys and Filipino fans are going to love it. So let me pass the mic first to Bibiano and then to Gustavo.
I want to say thank you for Filipino fans for coming here today. And I'm very happy for being here. I love Manila, I feel home. And look, send me my city, Manaus, Brazil. And yeah, that's it. I go be well for my fight. I know my opponent is good fighter, great fight. But I'm ready for this fight. And thanks so much.
I want to thank all the Filipino people that came down to support the ONE FC here, and thank Vito to give the chance to fight for ONE FC again. And I hope if you guys come to the 21st of August, I won't disappoint you guys. I'm gonna do my best and put a good show over there. Thank you.
Thanks guys. A few of you have probably noticed this giant of a man sitting at the end of the table.
Yeah.
He's earned the reputation as the baddest man on earth, and well deserved. I mean, he is a giant. He is the former heavyweight champion of the world, and he had dominated that division, and you better believe he is ready to start dominating here in Asia. He's going to bring it. You guys might know the legendary boxing trainer Freddie Roach, who trains our friend, who trains a guy who you might have heard of before, Manny Pacquiao. Yeah. Freddie Roach is his boxing trainer and also trains Andre. And Freddie said about Andre that Andre has, let me get this quote right, Andre has the most lethal hands in MMA. You're talking about an incredibly gifted, fast hands that it's uncharacteristic in a heavyweight, especially when you get praise from somebody like Freddie. His opponent, this is an exciting matchup. His opponent is a man from Australia called Soa Palelei. Soa Palelei is on an absolute tear right now with he's on a 7-fight win streak. Every one of those fights has come by TKO, I believe in the first round. He's on an absolute tear. If you are looking for an exciting fight, well, let's go through the checklist. Big names, check. Heavyweight exciting fight, check. Guys that are coming to bring it and bang, and you're going to see a KO, check, check, check. Ladies and gentlemen, Andre Arlovski.
Thank you. First of all, I'm very excited, and I want to say thank you for opportunity to be part of ONE FC. I never fought an Asia. Hopefully, dream will come true on August 31st. I promise I put a good show, and exactly I'm former heavyweight champion. Right now I'm like as a heavyweight, like a contender, and very excited about that. And I promise I'll put a good show on August 31st. And thank you. And hopefully I'm gonna make some fan base in Philippines. Thank you.
Thanks, Andre.
You're welcome.
Last but definitely not least is I'd like to introduce the hometown hero. This man exemplifies all the success of what is the character of URCC, of what is the character of Alvin and the leaders in that organization, and the traits of a champion. He is not only hardworking and diligent and 100% committed to his career as a fighter, he is humble, almost to a fault. He is pious. He is gracious to his friends and he's gracious to his enemies. He loves the sport and he represents it proudly as a Filipino, represents this nation to the world as an outstanding star for not only the sport but for the nation of Philippines. And he is a great man and he is one of our outstanding stars of One Fighting Championship. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Edward Fulayan.
Good morning to everyone, and this is another opportunity to showcase the talent of Filipino people. We have a lot of talents in boxing. We have Manny Pacquiao, and now we have MMA, and it's an opportunity again to represent this country, the Filipino people, in this upcoming fight on August 31, and I would like everyone to come and watch the excitement of MMA, not only here in the Philippines, but in the whole Asia and in the whole world. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Edward. So that about wraps it up. You know, I just want to say a couple final words. That once again, thank you very much for coming out. I can tell you that part of the excitement about being here is the great support that we've got, not only from the media, from the community. It's unbelievable for me to get into a taxi and the taxi driver says, "Oh, you're with ONE FC," and then he asks for a picture with me. And we get to the hotel and the doorman says, "Oh, what are the odds on the Gustavo fight or on Bibi fighting?" And people are talking about ONE FC and excited already, and we're few weeks out. Tickets go on sale tomorrow. Be sure to get your tickets. Tell people to get our tickets. We are selling out, and I guarantee this is going to be a sellout. You cannot not sell out when you've got these many superstars on the card. Thank you very much. Thank you once again to URCC and to Alvin Aguilar, and we're going to open up the floor to questions.
Okay, once again, we do have a mic, but if you don't have a mic over there, anybody wants to start things off?
Question for Alvin. You've been with the URCC from the very beginning, as we all know, and how does it feel after years and years you're sitting beside a dream champion and a former UFC champion?
Yeah, of course, the feeling's awesome. I mean, we're surrounded by, very prestigious and, world-class fighters. That's always a great feeling. But remember when we first started the URCC about 10 years ago, nobody gave a damn about mixed martial arts. So when we started it, we came up, we worked hard, and now a lot of people know about Filipino mixed martial artists. And now with our collaboration with ONE FC, especially with Victor, we can really showcase Filipino mixed martial arts down to the world. And we said a long time ago, the next Manny Pacquiao is coming from MMA. That's him right there, Edward Fulayan.
Can I ask Shinya a question? Can I get it translated, please?
Yeah, of course.
Well, I personally think that Shinya is the best fighter in Japan, hands down. Now that Yushin has lost twice, Fireball Kid's lost a couple of times, does he think that he's the best fighter in all of Asia?
He actually lost once.
Yeah.
Once the 7 fights. シニアはアジアの選手が一番いい選手と思っていますか？今エディ・アルベス負けてシニアはアジアにとってどのぐらいレベルシニアの日本では一番でもアジアは
OK まだまだ日本では一番だけどアジアではここからまた初めからやり直します。
He says he's number 1 in Japan, and it's a new journey with ONE FC to prove that he's the best in Asia.
Good afternoon, Bob Guerrero from Yahoo Sports. I have two questions for everyone here. One is, how many bouts can we expect on that night on 31 of August? And what about the TV coverage? Will there be live coverage or delayed coverage, and where can we find it? Thank you.
Thanks, Bob. Thanks for giving me a chance to make a plug. We are going to have at least 10 fights on this fight card. We're still firming up the rest of it, and it's actually good luck for everybody else in this room, because if I make all the announcements today, I can't invite you yet again for a free lunch. So this gives me a chance to make another announcement down the road. But we'll have at least 10 fights on the card. You can watch it, as always. We're going to live stream it online on our website on onefc.com. We will be broadcast delayed on ESPN and Star Sports, as we always are, to households across Asia, 500 million viewers, 28 countries. We are also very proud to announce our TV partner here, which is Channel 13. And they will be showing, they will be airing all of Active TV. We'll be sharing all of our archive footage from August 14th onwards every day as a build-up to the 31st, and will be our partner here in the Philippines.
Thank you. My first question is for Edward Palayong. Well, Mr. Aguilar said that you're probably going to be the Manny Pacquiao of MMA. So I'd just like to hear straight from you. Do you think you can carry that flag of being the next Manny Pacquiao for the MMA?
I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best to carry that flag.
Okay. This question, first I came up with it for Mr. Arlovsky, but I think I can ask the rest of the people here. Since this ONE FC Asian MMA, what do Asian fighters actually bring to the table that Western fighters don't have?
Why don't you direct the question to one person?
Oh, okay. Andre Arlovsky.
I'm ready to answer. First of all, my MMA career went up and down, and I very appreciate ONE FC promotion for the chance to rebuild my MMA career. After 4 losses, I had already 2 wins. It's like baby steps for me, step after step, and I'm very excited about August 31st, and I will do my best. We will then assign, will be heavyweight champion ONE FC again.
All right.
Soon.
Back there, I believe you have a question. Go ahead.
Hello, this is for the Pitbull, Andre Arlovsky. So, can you describe your transition since, we fought for bigger leagues like the UFC and the Affliction before. So, how's your transition heading to ONE FC? And
from my understanding, I'm sorry to interrupt you, ONE FC is the biggest so far.
All right. Yeah, and another question. Throughout your career, you're known to be one of the heavyweights who like to bang. A lot of knees, a lot of elbows, of punches. So can we expect that? Can we expect that on August 31st? Can we expect a lot of fireworks from you? Same old Andre Arlovsky?
Definitely, I'm gonna do jump me again like I did against Schroeder. It's cost me first of all, it's cost me a lot of money. I went down the ratings, and now I think I'm a little bit smarter than I was before. I took lessons from those fights. And first of all, I pretty much fired all my trainers. Right now, Greg Jackson, he's a head coach in my team, Pitbull team, and I'm very excited about that. My mistakes that I didn't do this before, and I'm looking forward. I will do everything possible to be champion again, because I'm still young, I still a lot of power, and first of all, something inside me that I want to fight. I change all my lifestyle. For me it's very important right now to be the best, and I will do everything possible to do this, to reach my goal.
Thank you, Andre. We have another question out there. Go.
I am Carl from GMAnews.tv. Sir Palayong, is there anything different that you did in your training to prepare for your match?
A rematch?
Your match. Your upcoming match, is there anything you did?
Yeah, I'm...
Sa Baguio yan.
Yeah. Nagtitraining na ako doon sa Baguio sa high altitude training, and then after that magkikipag-training pa ulit ako dito sa Manila. So I'm 80% ready and 100% ready sa fight.
Thank you. If you have a question over here, then we'll go to you.
Yeah, I have a question for Bibiano. A couple of months ago, you were the most sought-after free agent in the whole MMA world, and it was well publicised. You had offers from a number of organisations, including the UFC, but you chose to sign for ONE FC. I just wondered why was that?
Because I believe ONE FC can be the best in the world. For this, I signed with ONE FC.
Very well said, sir.
Sir, I have a series of questions here. First for Mr. Folayang. What sort of tactic would you use in a fight?
I train every aspect of the fight. I train on the ground, understanding, and on my wrestling skills, so that wherever the fight goes, then I will always be ready.
Thank you.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Feel free to ask the question. Feel free to ask your questions to everyone.
Mr. Arlovsky, I have a question for you. Since your opponent is not here presently, what would be your message for him?
Stay healthy and be ready for the fight.
And for Mr. Bibiano Fernandez and Mr. Gustavo, what would you say to each other before the fight?
What I say for you before the fight? I don't say I will fight.
Just hope we can do a great show there and make all the fans like it.
Thank you very much, sir.
I have a question for Mr. Victor. When it comes to the rules of ONE FC, why follow the rules of Pride, where it's not the 10-point fight system, and also your thoughts about soccer kicks?
Sure, that's a great question. This might sound a little bit cliche, but the rules that we have are, to me, the perfect blend of East and West practices. I feel that myself personally, I'm kind of like that. My Filipino heritage and Western background, and bringing those two together, this is important. And that philosophy is dominant in everything that we do with ONE FC, of trying to find the best practices of East and West. Safety is the highest priority for everything that we do in this organization, everything that we do in this sport, and our rule set reflect that, and we have the best officials and the best referees to make sure that this is the safest environment for a fighter to compete in, and we bring in only the best.
You have a question here?
My question is addressed to Sir Victor. I stand to be corrected, but I think based on the statement, Mr. Edward Folayang still has an unnamed opponent, right?
That's right.
That's all.
Yes, I'd like to ask this question to Victor and Alvin. Can we expect any other Filipino fighters on the card on August 31st besides Edward?
Absolutely. If you've taken a look at the press release that you see, there is another URCC champion and an up-and-coming superstar who has a lot of fan following. His name is Mr. Eric Kelly. Eric, yeah, stand up. Give him a good wave. And we would have fit him on here, but I'm so fat, I took up 2 spaces, so we ran out of space for that. But Eric Kelly is going to be fighting, you guys ready for this? Jens Pulver. And this is not... Take a look at your press releases. The information is out there. We'll be releasing more information on the rest of the fight card later, but this is going to be another epic fight. I mean, you're talking about a legend in MMA and an opportunity for Eric, who's a up-and-coming fighter, to really establish himself and take his game to a whole other level.
Go ahead. Hello. Good morning. So, first of all, I'm a very big fan of all of you. You are my heroes. So if I can get an autograph later, anyways. But yeah, Hudson from When in Manila. So this is directed to Shinya Yoki. Okay. You are known as Tobikan Judan, 10th level, master of flying submissions. No? So you've been spending a lot of time at Evolve MMA in Singapore. So how have Chatri Yotong and the other guys at Evolve helped you so much or so far in your training as getting better in your MMA game?
シニアは飛び交い10段の名前でもう10th レベルのサミッションでイボブMMAのシンガポールチーム入ってどういうシニアのゲームはどういうふうに変わったですか？
イボブチームにはすごく世界で一番のムエタイコーチがいてレスリングコーチがいて MMA コーチがいます。僕はイボブ MMA でトータルファイターになりました。
Shinya says he believes that Evolve MMA is the #1 camp in the world with the best Muay Thai trainers, the best BJJ trainers, the best wrestling trainers, the best MMA trainers, and with Evolve MMA he's evolving into a complete fighter.
Hello, I'm Iron out of the Triangle Group 2, Sir Victor. I want to ask how One UFC has started and a little background. When it started and how.
Sure. Sorry, I didn't catch your name.
Theodore.
Theodore, hi. As I mentioned before, my background, I've spent about 15 years in the sports media industry, and that's what I've done my whole career, my whole life. And in that time, I saw that the world's fastest growing sport of mixed martial arts was at its infancy right here in Asia. And like I said at the very beginning, I truly have never seen an opportunity like this. I tell you, there is no sport that's going to grow like MMA is. Not football, not tennis, not basketball, not ping pong, nothing. Nothing comes close to what MMA is doing around the world and what it's doing out here in Asia. Just look at the fact that we are selling out stadiums in every city that we go to already. And it was on that premise that we started ONE FC. We wanted to make sure that we brought together Asia, grow the sport with our partners like URCC, showcase the best fighters from across the region and around the world, and give fight fans what they've been waiting to see.
How long is your partnership with URCC?
Well, until he beats me up, really.
So, do we see in the near future that we have more fights in the Philippines?
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, this is, like I said, this really plucks my heartstring to be here. I feel at home. I'm very happy. I make every excuse I can to come out here and hang out. We are at the historic Araneta Coliseum, where Muhammad Ali made history, and we want to be in that same environment. We want people to see how exciting that is, and we're going to be showcasing, this sport and our fighters right around the world. Thanks.
Over there. Back there. There you go.
I'm Lito Oredo from Bandera. I just want to ask, what is at stake on the fights? Are there any championship belts on each category?
Right now, we're lucky that the fighters on our card have more than enough belts that they know what to do with. So the priority right now is putting on exciting matches, exciting fights that the fans want to see.
Franco Mabanta from Esquire magazine. My question is for Andre. Will Greg Jackson be in your corner?
Absolutely.
He'll be in your corner. Oh, that's fantastic. I have one last question for you. My girlfriend finds you ridiculously good looking, unfortunately for me. So my question is, do you ever look at yourself in the mirror and compare yourself to Leonidas from the movie 300? Thank you.
I have a question for Aoki-san. There's been rumors about you going to that you're gonna fight Kazushi Sakuraba like at the end of the year. Is that true, or is that fight just a bunch of baloney from fantasy matchmakers?
桜庭選手が試合ありますか？
I don't know.
He
doesn't know, but it's potentially in the works. I mean, the negotiations have been ongoing.
Yes, I have a question for Gustavo. Now, I know the UFC were desperate to get you on their Ultimate Fighter program recently, and they couldn't because your Australian citizenship didn't come through in time. Now you're fighting, I think, the top bantamweight in competing in Asia on the main event, or I think the co-main event of one of the biggest shows there's ever been in Asia. I mean, how, in retrospect, are you quite happy that that citizenship didn't come through and that you have this opportunity to fight for ONE FC?
Actually, I think you said everything. The UFC was happening in Australia, tried to get in, and the citizenship didn't get through in time. And some things happen for a reason. Now I'm back to ONE FC, find a big show with a great fighter, and it's actually better than I thought. So we just take that opportunity and keep fighting UFC because it's saying UFC got the best rules in the world, in my opinion. So that's where I like to fight.
Thanks, Gustavo. We have a question over there. Go ahead, sir.
Hi, good morning. Alfred from MMAFC.com. This is for Victor. The UFC has been talking about going here to Manila for a long time now, even before ONE FC started. And something as big as ONE FC is now here, even before they've made any plans. So I just want to know what convinced you to go to Manila, and is the URCC's decade-long success a part of it, of what convinced you?
You know, as I said before, coming to Manila is kind of a homecoming personally, but also that this partnership and what we've been talking about, Alvin and I have been talking about for months or maybe even over a year now, and plus we go back from other events that we've worked on together before. You know, there's several URCC champions that are on ONE FC cards, and ONE FC is a regional organization. We hold the biggest events all across Asia, from country to country, and Manila is a natural place to go, not only for the fan base, but for the development of the sport. And that's what we're doing. I mean, I focus on what we do well, which is bringing together and showcasing the best Asian fighters and the top talents from around the world, and giving a kind of fight experience that Asian fans, sport fans in general, not just MMA fans, Asian fans have been lacking.
And one last, are we ever going to see Shinya go against Edward?
That could be possible.
Thank you very much.
Okay, we have one question out there. We're down to our last two questions though. Is there another one over there? Okay, sir, go ahead first.
Thank you. My name is Robert Siwani. Victor, what safeguards do we have in place to assure the fans that the results of the matches will not be tainted like what happened in the last fight of Manny Pacquiao? What safeguards have we made in place? And not only that, also the tainted record of the football. What safeguards do we have that this doesn't happen with us for ONE FC?
That's a great question. You know, everything that you can see about ONE FC, every single thing that we do is world class and with the best. From our partners, to our fighters, to this press conference, to how we make sure we treat you when you come to this press conference at an event date, how we showcase our sport to the fans, the rules that we have in place. Everything is world class and the best, and that's what we do, and I can guarantee that that is what we deliver from our competition all the way to the ticket buyer who's up in the cheap seats. They will get the best experience and of a standard that Asia has never seen before.
Go ahead, sir.
Okay. Hello, Gabriel Pangalani from URCCMMA.com. So my first question is for Bibiano. You grew up in Brazil, the mecca of MMA. So how did growing up in Brazil help shape you as a fighter you are today?
I grew in Brazil. I have tough life, and when I walk in Manila a little bit, and I see how people have hard time, and this only make me grow me strong.